So far, we've talked about the first two parts of the equation that make up body language. We're going to bring back that equation one more time and talk about the last two very important things: eye contact and spatial awareness. When you were a kid, did you ever get yelled at for not making enough eye contact with the people that you were talking to, with the waiter at a restaurant, or your aunties and uncles, or even a close friend? Making eye contact is difficult with anyone, whether they're your family or just people that you've just met. And those are just individual people. So when you're speaking in front of an audience, eye contact can present a very difficult challenge for a speaker. How are you supposed to interact with 200 people the same way that you would with your best friend? Well, here's a secret. You aren't supposed to. Your purpose as a speaker is not to look deeply into every audience member's eyes, but it's to build a connection between yourself and the audience. We've all done or seen the scan where the speaker does a swivel motion with their neck trying to make eye contact with everybody. And this doesn't exactly work. Although as a speaker, you're genuinely trying to impress the audience, your attempt comes across as superficial. Here's what you need to do instead. Build connections with individuals. Remember that best friend? Although it's impossible to connect like that with a stranger in mere minutes, try to build a relationship with individual audience members by making meaningful eye contact with one person at a time. The rest of the audience is just going to feed off of that energy, and they're going to remember how you made them feel. You're not going to reach everyone, but everyone in the audience is going to respond to the connection that you had with that one small group of people. Another way to make the audience more comfortable is carefully calculating where you're going to stand. The study of proxemics looks at the physical distance during social interactions and can tell us how to use space during presentations or speeches, because these influence our interpretation of the speaker's message. You want to center yourself in relation to the audience and move yourself away from any distractions. For example, if I were speaking in front of an audience in a larger space, but most of the class was clustered somewhere off to the left, I would move towards the left so that I could be in the forefront of their view and not in the periphery. I would also try to move away from any distractions that I couldn't control. If there was a window with lots of foot traffic in the background, I would stand away from it because movement attracts the eye of the audience. Finally, just as movement in the background can distract from your message, so too can movement in the foreground. A speaker that is pacing at the front of the stage is more likely to distract their audience than impress them with anything that they're saying. Any walking that you do has to be purposeful. This is called physical signposting. Physical signposting is good because it shows your audience that you're transitioning from one point to another during your presentation. If you start at one part of your presentation near the left side of the audience, then transition to the next part and walk to the right as you transition. This is a visual signal to your audience, and it helps them follow along with your message a little more easily.